This is the syllabus video for COMM 4029 at UC Online. My name is Eric Jenkins. I'm an associate professor in the communication department. I've been teaching and researching at UC for 13 years. And I'll tell you a little bit more about myself in a minute, but I thought you might want to get out your syllabus on InStructure and follow along. So pause the video now if you want to do that and open it up. Also, I will try to make these videos as short as possible, usually less than 15 minutes. Because of that, I might talk fast and try to cram in a lot of information. So I really do encourage you to take notes during these videos. Sometimes when we're watching videos, it's easy for our minds to drift. And there's a lot of research actually in digital media, which we're studying here, that it's harder to pay attention to things on screens. And that when you write something down by hand, you tend to retain it much better. So get in that good habit, and I promise you these videos will help you a lot more than if you don't take notes. Okay, so let's move along. Again, this is COMM 4029, Media and Technology. My name is Eric Jenkins. You can see my email here. I believe my phone number has changed, and I'm not in my office very much. I'll try to update you on what the new number is because we just moved buildings. But email I respond to very quickly, so that's the best way to communicate with me. This course is about the primary area that I do research in as an academic, and that is into the societal changes caused by digital media. If you're interested in learning more, I wrote a book on the subject called Surfing the Anthropocene, the Big Tension and Digital Affect, as well as numerous articles. So I have a lot of interest in technology. I'm kind of fascinated by what's going on. But I'm also an avid vegetable gardener. I do a little video gaming. I'm a big football fan. I pay close attention to politics, and also find myself watching a bunch of YouTube videos about ancient history because I'm a nerd that way. And you'll see that one of the things we're going to do in this class is use debates as a way to practice our critical thinking and learn these materials. I like debates because they're interactive, because it's part of what is called active learning. That is, you have to present and you have to show us what you have learned instead of just regurgitating information that I gave you. And I've just discovered that debate is one of the best ways to train people in critical thinking. So we're going to study digital media, the internet, smartphones, video games, etc. But we're going to use debate as a delivery mechanism to study those things and to assess how well we have learned those things. Again, email is the best way to reach me. I'll also have weekly office hours, either on Tuesday or Thursday. I believe I'll do those on Thursday, say, let's see, 2 to 3 on Thursdays. And so I'll just open a Zoom link, and if you have questions, you can pop in and talk to me and answer those questions. About the course, again, this is my favorite class to teach. One of the things that fascinates me about technology is how technology sort of has a life of its own. It evolves, it grows, it affects and changes the world around us. And sometimes, even it does that even when we don't mean for it to do that. Right? Like when television came around, we rearranged our living rooms and our entertainment habits changed dramatically, and how much we knew our neighbors changed dramatically. And maybe people didn't make those as choices. They didn't say, I want to spend my evening sitting in front of the television and not talking to my neighbors. And I didn't want to rearrange my living room around the television. But they did it anyway, and the technology sort of had that effect anyway. And so, people often say, technology is just a tool. It's sort of like the argument that guns don't kill people, people kill people. But I think the entire history of technology teaches us something very different. As soon as cars or guns or television or the internet came around, society became forever changed. There's a famous media theorist named Marshall McLuhan from the 1960s, and he said, "We make our tools, and thereafter they make us." And I think he's right. And by the end of this class, hopefully, you'll see just how much smartphones, social media, the internet, and the like is remaking us. I think it's an exciting time to live through, but it's also an anxious time to live through. Um, so I'm going to skip over some of this. A lot of this is sort of like the fine print. If you have special needs, please contact me and I'll do everything I can to accommodate you. Here's the textbook. Please purchase that as soon as possible. You won't have to read anything from it for a couple weeks, but I do think you might want to start reading ahead because you'll see that all of the reading from this book is kind of packed into 2 different weeks. And I think if you try to just do them on those 2 different weeks, you might end up being overwhelmed. So, try to start reading ahead and it will help you a lot. Our course objectives, I hope you end up learning and understanding the historical development, terminology, methods, and trends in and about digital media. One of the big ones right now is artificial intelligence, for instance, and we're going to even use ChatGPT in this class. We'll talk about some fundamental principles and theories of digital media. We'll analyze and critique ideas, arguments, and points of view related to digital media. We'll interpret the impact of different types of digital media on users, and we'll administer and use features of digital media, particularly a blog and, as I mentioned, ChatGPT, to promote and distribute our own thoughts. I believe the class is extremely well organized, and you should be able to follow along very easily with the modules. Here's sort of a spreadsheet that gives you an overview of the different tasks in each module and how many points there are in each module. As well, here's the grading scale. It's pretty standard, kind of A minus, A minus, B plus, etc. Scale. As far as like assignment due dates and such, the assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. of the due date that's listed on the syllabus. There is a kind of a little bit of an exception to that where I tried to make everything due by the end of the weekend of that week. So that is like, say there's a due date that says Tuesday by 11:59 p.m. As long as you get it in by that Sunday at 11:59 p.m., I'll give you full credit. That said, I really, really recommend that you do them on the actual due date. Because if you try to wait, or close to it at least, if you try to wait and do everything on that Sunday or whatever, I do worry that you will get behind. If you can't do anything by that, if you can't submit the assignment by that Sunday, there are some assignments that they're just small amounts of points, and I don't accept late work for. Usually, if it's kind of 50 points or less, late work will not be accepted. If it's more serious, like one of our debates, for instance, I will give you a short extension to turn it in at the penalty of one deduction of one letter grade, as long as you tell me the reason and you contact me in a timely manner about that. This is just, again, religious accommodations. Again, as an asynchronous class, that shouldn't be a big deal. Academic integrity is basically like, don't plagiarize your work. It's going to be hard for you to do that in this class because we're going to have our own research and our own readings and our own unique assignments that, other classes out there aren't using. I'll try to respond to all emails within 12 hours. Usually much faster than that unless you email me kind of in the evening and I won't respond till the next morning. You need to have a UC email. You need to have access to the internet. We will be posting a lot of stuff on blogs. So I'll show you how to do that when the time comes. But also be sure to use proper netiquette. In other words, don't be a troll and don't be a jerk to one another, please. We're trying to practice non-discrimination and respect diversity. That is, let's not harass each other, etc. If you feel like something like that is happening in this class, please contact you know, the proper authorities, and you can contact me as well, and we will take care of that as quick as possible. Here's another kind of spreadsheet for you that lists the specific due dates and what assignments are going on for each week. Each module lasts 1 week. As you see, we have 7 weeks and 7 modules. I do want to point out a couple of things here. These first couple of weeks, the workload is pretty light. There's watching this video and watching a couple other videos this week, for instance, and doing a couple of quick worksheet homework assignments. Next week, you have this Chat GPT assignment, which shouldn't take you all that long, and a 1-minute essay in response to a video. So I encourage you during these 2 weeks to start reading ahead in your book. Get that book ASAP, because you'll see in week 3, not only are we reading 4 chapters of the book, but you're also going to have to do our blogs on that week, which includes finding some research to help you back up some of the arguments you found in the reading, as well as to help you start to build your debate. It's possible to read a chapter a day and do a blog a day. I don't think it would take you more than an hour to max an hour and a half to do that, depending on how fast you read. For me, I read really fast, so that would probably only take me about 40 minutes to do that. But I know you're busy people. I know a lot of you are working adults and stuff. So, maybe 40 minutes a day is not something, or an hour a day is not something that you can really contribute every day, or, and you need to do it on the weekend or something like that. And if that's the case, use some of this extra time in the first 2 weeks to start reading ahead. Then in week 4, we'll do our first debate. That will entail you constructing what's called a constructive speech. That is where you build your case either for or against digital media, and a rebuttal speech where you'll be assigned an opponent and where you are answering their arguments in that speech. You'll also be asked to submit some debate decisions. That is, I'll ask you to read 2 other debates from your classmates and post on the blog who you thought won the debate with a paragraph of reasoning about that. And then we kind of repeat the process. Week 5, we'll do the 4 weeks, and it doesn't say it here, but there should be blogs that match up with each of those. I'll make sure that that's the case on the website right after I get done here. And then week 6, again, another debate, our second debate. And then week 7, this is kind of our chance. You can think of it as sort of like a final exam. I like to think of it as our final reflection. So now that you've done these debates, now that you've done the research, now that you've read other people's debates, I'll ask you to write a paper, detailing your stance. What do you think? Are digital media good for the world, or are they bad for the world overall? In fact, it should say this in the syllabus, but it does definitely say it in the modules. You'll see here on module 4, the debate topic. The debate topic, the first one, digital media are net beneficial for society. So things like, is it good for politics? Is it good for the economy? Is it good for our communities? The social world. And then debate. The second debate is, the topic is digital media are net beneficial for the quality of life. And the quality of life is more about like individuals, right? Does it help you be mentally healthy? Does it help you be physically healthy? Does it help you learn and grow, have good friendships, have good relationships, those kinds of things. So the first debate, we're going to focus on kind of like how it affects all of us as a society. And the second debate, we're going to focus on how it affects us as individuals. They're really interesting topics, I believe. I think, you'll just see the relevance of it because these things are affecting our lives so much. And I hope you learn the relevance of debate as well. I hope you see that you're growing as a thinker and learning how to research and learning how to analyze and learning how to interpret uh, because debate, in my opinion, has been the best technique and tool for learning those things that I've ever experienced. Um, so I'm excited for the class. Um, and you know, 7 week class, work's kind of packed in there and stuff. But I think if you stay to the schedule and kind of do your assignments regularly, it won't be too overwhelming. So reach out and send me an email if you have any further questions. And if not, I will see you in the virtual world in the near future.